Go downhill in the next 2-3 hours here quickly.
And when we talked to Gage a little bit ago, we're going to check in with him in just a bit. He was talking about how the house that they are in was just swaying and moving.
Which is designed to do, right?
Yeah, and he's ready now. He was saying he's feeling some of those winds. Gage, or seeing if you're inside or you're outside now. Yeah, what are you seeing? Feeling, rather.
Yeah, we're outside right now. This is, I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, I would like for Justin or Caroline to take a look at this on the radar, but I do believe that we are in the eye wall because the house is not shaking. The noise that you hear, there is a little bit of wind, but it's the water still rushing. Come over here, take a look at this. This is water rushing from the bay into the Colorado River, from the Gulf of Mexico into the Colorado River. You can kind of see it flowing out and away from us underneath the house. That was the dock that we were standing on earlier today, but right before we were going live here, we had all the lights off, and you could see clear up. You could see almost brightness. I'm assuming maybe from a nearby metro, but there was, before it was just all black. You couldn't see anything, but you could see kind of like a wall, if you will. So I'm not sure, Justin, Caroline, are we in the eye wall? Because this is as calm as it's been since we got here.
Yeah, hey, Gage, that is accurate. You are in the outer eye wall at this point, and my guess is, similar to when you were talking with Anthony about an hour ago, over the next hour, you will probably see your conditions get a little better, at least in terms of the wind of what you'll see. The storm surge is going to get worse, right? Don't think that say, all right, well, I'm in the eye here, we're good. Remember, the eye is a circle, and so the back half of that circle has to still come through. So if you've ever seen videos before where it gets real calm and then 20 minutes later the wind comes roaring back from the opposite direction, that's exactly what Gage is going to experience there. There's a shot on the Storm Tracker 2 live radar that we were just showing a second ago, Gage. Last we had checked, Gage, we saw a wind gust of about 93 miles an hour. And for the folks at home, I just saw you post this on Twitter and I know on social media about the truck. Give us the story about what's happening down there with that water that's getting close to where you guys are at right now.
Yeah, so I can definitely tell you the wind, this is the calmest the wind has been. You're looking at the truck right now. The water, it looks like it may have been, I mean, obviously when there's high winds, the waves are pushing up against the truck, but you can see the storm surge is still rushing in, but it doesn't look as high as it has been. But yeah, I mean, the truck was, and this is a lifted pickup truck, okay? This isn't your regular off-the-lot pickup truck. This truck is almost double, if not more, the height of a typical Ford pickup truck. And it was up over the tow hitch, up over the bumper, but you can see, look at how high the, you can see this is the rack line here of how high the wind was pushing, or excuse me, the water was pushing up here. That's how high the water was whenever you have all that wind-driven rain. But I mean, the truck, I'm definitely not going out there. You can see how quickly the water is moving as I scoot past Oscar, who's behind the lens right now, doing a fantastic job. But yeah, you could see it. It's rushing through. It's incredible to see that. But the conditions, I cannot. We're on Matagorda, so I'm not sure where those gusts are coming from, but here for sure, I can grab my anemometer real quick and get a number for you. Let me do that. But definitely not 96. I could promise you that. But it is night and day. The house is still for the first time in a long time. Let me grab this anemometer. Let's hop outside real quick and get you a number here that you can run off. We're going to go down towards you, Oscar. Remember before we got a 93.9. Where we're at right now,
where are you at right now, Gage?
23.7.
Okay.
23.7 right now.
Yeah.
That's the max gust. It's set to only show you the max speed.
Right.
So if I turn that off, you're, consistent winds of between 15 and 20, which is obviously subtropical storm force winds. But yeah, I mean that's impressive to see that storm surge down there.
Right, and then Gage, while you're there, I just want to ask Justin, I mean, so he's seeing those winds die down. Say he is in the eye, we believe. The size of this storm, how long do we think it would be before the back end goes?
It's hard to tell at this point because that eye, and I mentioned this a second ago when we first came on the air here, that eye is not a perfect circle. You see how it's just kind of ragged in the center, it's a little wobbly looking. That means one of two things. One, it's starting to interact with the actual bay, the barrier part of Matagorda Bay itself, right? And so it's kind of chewing that up just a little bit. So that is helpful because it also means that we're going to start to slow down the storm, so some of that wind potential will back off. Now, the storm surge will not. And I think Gage made a good point of that, too, is that even though the winds you saw a second ago have gotten down to about 25 miles an hour versus the 90 that we were tracking just a little bit ago, is that the water is still being pushed up along, and it will continue to do so as that eye wall and eventually the center of that eye moves over top. Not only that, but further north up near where Bill is, as we get over towards Galveston, some of those outer bands, the thicker outer bands that you're seeing there on the Storm Tracker 2 live radar, are going to start pulling all that water and pushing it against Galveston, pushing it against west end of the island, out towards Surfside, pushing it into the bay. That's a spot I don't want to forget all our friends out in the bay as well. This is really going to be something where we could see upwards of 4 to 6 feet. Gage, in your spot right there, I think the latest I had seen was 6 to 7 feet. And there was some indication from some things I was looking at just about 20 minutes ago that said that could be closer to 8 to 9 feet before it's all said and done. And obviously, we'll just kind of have to see once it gets out of here and be able to check the markers and the threshold at that point. But I would say to your question, Amy, I'd say that you probably will see at least a decrease in these winds over the next 30 minutes to maybe 45 minutes. And then once that back end of that eye wall comes ashore, they're going to start roaring once again.
Gage, I want to ask you one more thing before we let you go. We were watching the truck there when we got on the air with you about 1 in the morning. You were talking about how the truck was almost completely underwater there. And has the water gone down? Has that storm surge gone down? Since you've been in the eye of the storm, and do we expect it to just keep going up?
Yeah, and I want to show you here because a little gust of wind came through. As you look out, I'm not sure. Oh, I just turned the light off myself. As you look out, the biggest kind of problem that we see here is whenever the wind moves across the water, it adds such a problem to the storm surge because it picks it up. Just as if you're at a windy day at the beach, the surf's a little bit rougher. It's the same thing here. It'll pick up and create waves that are bigger and stronger and more powerful and can do a lot more damage and carry a lot more weight. So, I mean, even down, if you look at these little benches down here, let me move this light down to the right. You see all that debris caught up in there? I mean, obviously the water was high enough up into that point to catch everything up in there. So yeah, during a lull in these winds where you don't have a 90, 100 mile an hour or plus, we maxed out the anemometer. We don't know what the top temperature or the top wind speed was. Yeah, it's pushing that stuff, and it is working and it's moving. So I'm very eager to see if water got into the vehicle, or if the vehicle works to begin with. But yeah, the water, it appears that it's gone down, but I would almost say it's like a false hope or a false positive, because that back end of the wall is going to come through and it can kick it up just as good. So like, you want to come out here and you want to look and, oh my gosh, we're in the eye wall, and it's such an amazing Mother Nature experience, but at the same time it's also very dangerous. You do not want to go out in this, especially because you don't know what's been undermined or what. But I do want to note, Justin, you said 8 to 9 feet of storm surge in some places. The locals here tell us that this is one of the highest parts of Beach Road, which goes from mainland to the Matagorda Peninsula. So according to the locals, and I always take the word of the locals, this is one of the highest points of that beach road. So that would make sense why we wouldn't have necessarily seen 9 feet of water, or even the forecast is 7 feet, but still a significant portion to come up and make you concerned about what is a jacked up, lifted up, souped up pickup truck that's made and designed and built to track storms. So definitely a concern, but it is at 180 from 30 minutes ago. It's where we are now, where we're sitting there swaying back and forth.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Gage, you be safe out there. If you guys start to feel those winds picking back up when you get close to the back end of the eye wall, make sure that you signal to the control room, because I want to go back to you and I want to show folks the difference from what you're seeing out there now to what we saw Bill Spencer a second ago, Jamaica Beach, which is getting hammered pretty good, and then what you will probably experience in the next 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm going to enjoy it for now, though.
Right. Yeah, at 2:54 this morning. I mean, this is about the time that our meteorologist, our whole team has been saying since yesterday, this is the time period where we were concerned about the severe weather moving through.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we figured. We were going to see